Our normal procedures, first one would be our before start flow. And starting with the captain, captain will start with battery master on, bus tie, and seatbelt signs on. The captain will verify brake set and pressure indicates 1500 psi. And then we'll give the proper signals to the ground crew. We'll ask the first officer clear right. First officer will say clear right, no plug or strap. So we're going to looking to the right engine there. The captain will then do a flow, confirm the parking brake is set, power levers set to idle, condition levers, fuel would be all the way to off, recirc fan off, ignition norm or auto if applicable. So we're looking up here. So we'll put it to normal, select engine, select 2. The first officer will verbally verify that the correct engine is selected, checked, and then starting number 2, we'll start, button press, and then we'll introduce the condition lever to start and feather, so up to start and feather. When you hit NH to between 10 and 19, eyes on ITT, the first officer will call, so the flow will be fuel flow. So we'll zoom in here for a second here. We'll go in this direction, so the flow will be fuel flow, full pressure, hydraulic pressure, and then manual off, starter off. So I guess hydraulic pressure would be down there. Number 2, engine power lever to disc, external power off for the captain, hand signal to disconnect power and shocks, leave the number 2 condition lever in feather until after both engines are started, then move to minimum. So we'll repeat steps 1 through 11 for number 1 engine, so we'll do all that again. All right, after start flow, so the captain calls for the after start checklist. So the first officer, we'll focus on that. Bleed 1 and 2, recirc on, emergency lights arm, so up here first. Flap, then down, flaps 5 or 10, except if de-icing. Initially set flaps past the 5-degree detent, and then we'll click it up to 5 after. And then we'll go down to the radio side of things, and that'll be on standby traffic and terrain on, and then we'll be up here, tank aux on, auto feather select. So if anything, we could kind of do it in this sort of fashion. We can start up here, down, cross, flow, and then down if we wanted to. The captain, bus tie, untie, pedostatic and install horn on, windshield heat warm up, steering on, which would be on the left-hand side of the steering column. Reposition checklist. To start, when the captain calls for the reposition checklists, that would replace the after start checklist when the aircraft is being repositioned for de-ice, taxi back, etc. So it'd be steering on, and then we'd go straight to just up here, bleed and recirc on, emergency lights on. All right, before takeoff, below the line flow. So we'll focus on the first officer for a second here. So we'll do bleed flow to minimum. Bleed switches off, so that has to be off. We're always off for takeoff. Then transponder, we'll go down here to the to where the radios are. Transponder on alt, props to max, control check. So the captain will call, you have the yoke rudder free and full. So we'll check all that. Just take the yoke, and then elevator ailerons free and full. And then check warning lights are normal, so nothing there, and then observe the correct runway heading. All the captain does and the before takeoff below the line flow will set the lights and strobes as required. So for the first officer, we're up here, bleeds flow minimum, bleeds off, transponder off, or transponder to alt, props max, check ailerons and control, ailerons, elevators and ailerons free and full. And then we're gonna check the lights.